Oh my gosh, do I have some news for you. If you're watching this video and you are in the heating and air industry, or you could be in the market for heating and air product in any way, shape, or form over the next 3 or 4 months during the recording of this video. It's at the end of March. We're still in my state a little ways away from summertime starting, but I've got a friend down in Texas that told me he's already seeing some very hot temperatures. Summer is on the way. And there is some crazy breaking news that I think everyone should know. And this is not a scare tactic. I want to get the word out because it's a little scary. It's not a scare tactic, but it is scary. There is a huge shortage, at least this is what we're being told, in 454B refrigerant. So again, during the recording of this video, we are in the current phase down of HFC refrigerants. We're switching from 410A refrigerant to new A2L refrigerants that have to have a GWP of 700 or lower. And we're seeing some manufacturers go R32, some manufacturers going 454B. And the ones that are going 454B, if you are one of those customers, I think you need to know about this shortage. And so I'm hearing rumblings. I just heard from a supplier today that was saying that they are 14 weeks backed up. I heard from another that said they were only 10 weeks. But we are talking, when we're talking 10 to 14 weeks, we're talking months out for refrigerants. And some of these companies do have refrigerant on hand. If you are in the industry, I would highly recommend going ahead and buying at least a jug or two to have on hand, because there are systems that are being installed with this refrigerant. And so as we move closer into the summer and we see this overwhelming amount of systems being installed, a lot of systems, when it's installed, they have to top it off. They have to dial in the refrigerant. Maybe the factory system came with up to 25 feet on the length of the line sets. If the line sets are any longer than that, then you have to add additional charge. And so we're not talking about a lot in most cases. In residential, we're talking at times a pound or two, or maybe 3 or 4, but that starts to add up. If you're starting to do install after install after install, and then you can't get the stuff, that is a big problem. And of course, the other big problem is those of you that already have a 454B system. If you do happen to have a problem, if you have a service issue, you have a repair that needs to be done, perhaps let's say a coil needs to be replaced or a metering device, something needs to be replaced in that system, and refrigerant now needs to be added back into that system. If you can't get it, big problem there as well. And we're seeing this affect more than just the availability of the refrigerant. We're seeing it also affect the price. We've seen it go up. That's supply and demand. While 410A during the recording of this video and R32 have remained steady, we've seen an increase, a spike in pricing, especially from certain suppliers for 454B refrigerant. Now, I've done other videos. I'll put a link to one down in the description of this video. You should definitely check out after watching this one, where we compare the two refrigerants and why one might be better than the other. But even if you think 454B was the way you were going to go before, if you thought it was the brand or the product that you were going to choose, knowing that the availability of that refrigerant could be affected long-term may play a role in your decision-making. Now, I know what you might be saying. Well, Josh, this is a scare tactic. It's not a long-term problem. This is only a short-term problem. Well, as we continue through the AIM Act and these refrigerants do get phased down, because this is a part of the whole AIM Act phase down as well, all of these refrigerants are HFCs, even the ones that we're switching to. This could play a big role in a lot of consumers' decisions. Will they consider perhaps an R32 system instead of a 454B system because of these availability issues? And I think the last thing I'll just say on this is, if you can get your hands on a jug of it, even if you're having a system installed tomorrow and you just happen to catch this video, see if that contractor will let you go ahead and purchase an extra jug of that refrigerant to have on hand in case you need to make a repair. Now, this may exacerbate this whole problem. This may make it even worse if more people know of the scarcity and go ahead and buy a jug when maybe they weren't going to before. It's going to be a big problem if your AC goes out in the middle of June and you're told that they can't even get the refrigerant to make the repair for 2 months. That's a big problem. And so availability, price, and then finally, I think the last thing I think all of this might affect is consumers and contractors may make decisions moving forward, at least for the short term, on what they sell or buy. Folks that may have gone this route before are now going to go that route. If there's any 410A systems still on the shelf, they are now going to get sold. If there's any customers that were maybe going to go 454B before, they may now go R32. And then lastly, this may be all for nothing. Who knows? Tomorrow they may fix the problems, the supply chain issues, and the price of it drop back down. It becomes readily available. And from what I'm being told, that sounds like a fantasy, but you never know, especially if a lot of consumers change and go another route. Maybe that'll free some of this up. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you like this video, I think you'll like this one even more. It's where I share some of the latest government tariffs that could affect pricing and supply chain issues there as well. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more HVAC tips. We'll see you next time.